And last year, how they had Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster both, the defense was not going to focus on the running back. They needed to stop the pass, okay? That's still the case, okay? I know Brown's gone. I get it. And you cannot fill the void of a talent like that with a second or third year wide receiver that really didn't get a lot of action like they plan on doing. But they still have Juju, and Roethlisberger still knows how to play quarterback. So that's the primary to stop for defenses. James Conner will not have loaded boxes in front of him, and he showed us last season he can run and he can catch. He will be, again, a focal point of this offense worth having very early, no later than pick, say, 8 or 9, guys. All right? I know I've suggested tight ends as early as pick 5 in Travis Kelce. Think I'm crazy. I don't care. I know that Mahomes is going to get drafted really early in first rounds in a lot of leagues. So running backs are going to get pushed down. And James Conner, he'll be available. Okay? Snap him up because he's going to be great. Melvin Gordon is next on this list. Melvin Gordon is in a contract holdout. I don't think it's going to last, okay? With Melvin Gordon, San Diego is a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I'm sorry I said San Diego. LA, Chargers, whatever. It's going to be a hard habit to break. But yeah, the Chargers are a legitimate Super Bowl contender with Gordon. They are not without him. They need this man. So, yes, he has a competent backup, but that is a competent backup, not a premier running back threat. They are good because there's both of them. All right? So, Gordon needs to be snapped up early. He's going to be very strong all year. He has a head coach that used to be a running backs coach. They love them some running backs there at the Chargers, and he's going to be a fantasy beast. Now, many of you will be surprised that this is where Gurley comes in. Here at number 7, Todd Gurley. This was number 1 pick last year. Now, he's the 7th best running back on my list because I have eyes and I know what an arthritic knee should do to somebody who needs to run for a living. Okay? End of the season last year, where was Gurley? The last few games of the regular season, the entire playoffs, the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, he was on the bench. He hurt his knee, and I think he's hit that running back wall. You see this a lot, okay? When a running back gets an insane workload season, maybe 2 in a row, suddenly they just fall off the map. I'm not saying Gurley is going to be a bum this year. I'm not. I'm just saying that he is absolutely not going to have number 1 pick production ever again in his career. Todd Gurley is a talented back. He knows how to cut. He knows how to run over people. But if they don't spell him more frequently than they ever have before to keep him healthy for the end of the season, they don't have a chance at a playoff run, a Super Bowl run, like they should have had last year. I mean, this was very obviously the most talented team in the league last year, and they lost in the Super Bowl because they couldn't do what they were supposed to do. They couldn't use Todd Gurley to dominate the game plan because they ran him dry at the beginning of the season. They're not going to do that this year, all right? They just won't. I mean, they're not that dumb. So, he will be good. He will not be great. His fantasy production will be down because they're thinking about real football, not fantasy football, there in LA. Now, running back number 8. he's higher on the list than everybody else's. Jordan Howard. Philly made some absolute homeless people look like pretty good running backs at the end of last season. Okay? Names that were just drawn out of a hat. Popped 20 fantasy points here and there for the Eagles last season. Now that they have an actual talent at that position, don't you think that's going to be a more consistent thing? Jordan Howard is dominating first-team reps, and Doug Peterson's system is running back friendly. Just look at what the Chiefs do with running backs, because that's where he came from, Andy Reid. Okay? Now that he has Howard, a real running back, he's going to use him because he wants to keep Wentz healthy. Howard is going to be great this season, and get him before anybody else does. He's not very high on other people's lists right now. So you'll be able to sneak him into your lineup before other people are thinking about him. Keeping this in mind, he is one of these running backs that I think is close enough to that top tier of running back that makes it so drafting a running back with a top pick doesn't make sense. All right? Get Howard. You will not be sorry. Number 9, Le'Veon Bell. All right? He's an elite talent. Okay? I drafted him, I think, 3rd last year, thinking that the contract holdout wouldn't be a thing. I'm lucky I picked up James Conner later in the draft to make sure. But, yeah, Le'Veon Bell is still a beast. And they're protecting a young quarterback. They're going to ride Le'Veon Bell like nobody's business. Okay, he's going to be all over that playbook. Running, catching, doesn't matter. They have a bad offensive line and a young quarterback. That's why he's this far down on the list. He would be higher, but circumstance dictates that defenses are going to key in on him, and they should. Because with a weak offensive line, you can take the running back out of the game plan by run blitzing. And a run blitz, by the way, is just a blitz where you look at the running back before you go after the quarterback. So most teams are going to take advantage of that bad offensive line by putting an intense amount of pressure on Bell and Darnold. Bell is going to still produce elite numbers because he is an elite talent. So pick him up. Other people will have forgot about him. 3rd round, he's probably still going to be available. So grab him instead of drafting a top running back in the 1st round so you can get your wide receiver talent early. All right? Now, next at number 10, I've got Chris Carson from Seattle. This is another guy that's probably higher on my list than other lists. Does anybody remember what the best running offense was in the league last year? That's right, Seattle. Now, they juggled some running backs early on, but Chris Carson kept a 1st-round rookie on the bench. That says something, okay? He's talented.